And a very good Saturday morning to you. It is Drive Time Radio. New York Vinnie here with you on a wet Saturday morning here in Seattle. Boy, hadn't much sunshine in this new year, has there? Oh, man. Anyway, what are you going to do? That's what you get up here if you're here in December and January and February and March. What do you think spring training is so popular this year? Or every year, actually. I mean, people go nuts to go to spring training because it gets them into the sunshine a couple of months early. So anyway, man, it's brutal. But we welcome you to another year, another edition of Drive Time Radio. We going to head into our what is this 2025 or 32nd year of Drive Time Radio. So we are happy about that. 32 years of driving cars and letting you know about them. We do that through many changes in life and many changes in so many things that happen. But here we are uh, at the beginning of a new year. So a happy new year to all of you out there. Hope you had a good one and a safe one. We always hope that for you and look for that for you as we basically need all the listeners we can get. So we don't want any out there driving drunk or anything like that. Because we want you back here every Saturday morning at 11 for another edition of Drive Time Radio. We have this morning for you, as we do every year, the top 5 cars I did not want to give back this year. And this was a tough year to pick from. I drove a lot of really nice cars this year. Less cars this year than many other years because if you remember back to the beginning of the year in March, I think it was, I had COVID, and I didn't get to go to the Nawapa Mudfest, which is something that I attend every year. Love to attend it. It's our organization's get together where we drive a lot of, well, they're all four-wheel drive vehicles and try to come up with what the best vehicle is for the Northwest. And as I said, we do that every I think it's March, around March, April, something like that. So yeah, it had to be because it was I caught COVID in the beginning of April. So I think it was like that first weekend in April. Anyway, so I was down about let's see, probably about those things usually average about 20 cars, and we get to drive all of them. As a matter of fact, we have to drive all of them to rate them, but I did attend our organization's Drive Revolution, which is in September. It always comes just after my birthday. And so I got to drive a ton of cars there. I don't put as much weight into those cars as I do the cars that I get to drive for a week because I only get to drive those cars for a few hours in a day. So obviously, they're less weighed than the cars that I get to drive for a week. But interestingly enough, this year, out of all the cars that I drove, 2 of them in the September event were so good that they made it into the top 5 cars I did not want to give back. These cars were so good, so impressive, that 1 hour of driving the car was enough to convince me that I didn't want to give that car back. And there's 2 of those in the top 5 this year. And then we have our honorable mentions, and there was one of those in there as well. So we'll get to those. I think I may have given away throughout the year the what the number 1 car might be. Now, these cars are interesting in that I judge them on what they're supposed to do. What a car is supposed to do. Does it do what it is designed or it is built to do? That's the question that I always ask. And if the car is, here, let me grab my list for a second. And is the car designed to do what it's supposed to do? And if it does that, if it gives me that, then I put it on the list for consideration. If it doesn't, if it gives me more than I expected, then it goes into the top cars list. And from there, we go back, we look at the reviews, we look at all the different factors with the car, and come up with a top 10. And from that top 10, we distill it down to a top 5. I always say we, it's pretty much me. But this year, the top 5 were so impressive that it wasn't hard to pick these out. It wasn't hard to look at these cars and say, these are the cars that really made a difference this year. That if you had, now some of them are expensive cars, obviously, and if you had the money, you'd go and buy them. Not all of them are affordable, especially when you get into but actually the cars that are in the top 5, there's a couple of actually very affordable ones there, and a couple of surprises. All of a sudden, I got a case of dry mouth here. There we go. Thank you for bearing with me here. Now, the car business as a whole is in an interesting place. A lot of manufacturers just don't know what's going to happen. With a new president coming in with very different ideas on what the car industry needs and should do, the car industry has been waiting, sitting back a little bit, especially when it comes to electric cars. As a matter of fact, electric cars have gone down so much in price, they're practically giving them away, which to me is one of the surprises of the year. For whatever crazy reason, this country is not adopting electric cars. I think part of it is, quite frankly, and I don't want to get into politics, but I think politics have a lot to do with it. I think the biggest factor is the cars were out before the infrastructure was there. I think that you have a group of people that love their electric cars. And there are many people that electric cars are a good answer for their driving needs. But because of politics and them being demonized by certain groups, that people have pushed them off to the side. But the electric car is not going anywhere. So if you buy an electric car, you can get some sweet deals on some electrics right now. I mean, you can drive an electric car if your profile fits driving an electric car. If you have the ability to drive to charge the car and you do short trips, you don't take long road trips and everything, you drive it under 100 miles a day, 150 miles a day, you're a candidate for an electric car. And I've seen them now as low as $199 a month on a sweet lease deal if you have good credit. So the rest of the car business right now is trying to figure out what's going on. For Americans, sedans, the American car companies, sedans are non-existent. Passenger cars are non-existent. Go find me American passenger cars. They're not there. But the Europeans and the Japanese are still building sedans, still building nice sedans, and they're one of the best value propositions out there. I'm going to drive next week a Volkswagen Jetta. I'm excited to drive this car because many people I've talked to that have driven the car say it's an unbelievable value for how much it is. There's a dealer selling Jettas in, I believe it is Tennessee, for $19,999 for a Volkswagen Jetta. $19,995, and it's not a stripper. Now you don't have a lot of the other, the big options, but you have heated seats, you have a screen, you have a backup camera, you have the stuff you need. $19,999 is what the car is going for. Automatic transmission, and a Jetta from Volkswagen is a good car. It's a solid car. So the car industry is going to have to get its head out of its butt, because the million-pound elephant in the room is not far away, and that is China. China is building cars that are spectacular, great dollar propositions, great value, lots of neat tricks in them. Now, the longevity of the cars and so on and so forth remain to be seen, but the Chinese are coming, and it's only a matter of time until they're going to get into the United States. They are coming, and many people fear that they will kill the U.S. auto industry. Get out of Mexico, and Chinese cars are taking over the nation. You go to the Asian countries, and Chinese cars are taking over the nation, and they are building again. You can buy an electric Chinese car for, I believe, $25,000 before tariffs. I can't buy it in the United States yet, but as I said, they're coming. So that's the important thing to remember about cars. Number one, this is now turned into a very good time to buy a car, especially if you want an electric. Record numbers of cars being sold in December because people wanted to take advantage of deals that were out. We've gone from a place of having no deals on cars at the beginning of 2024 to low interest rates and rebates and cash in and everything else, almost like it used to be for cars. So you get a little bit of both. You get to see the top stuff, and you get to see the luxury stuff, and you don't see many rebates on those. And then you get to see the low-end stuff. Trucks, big trucks, General Motors, Ford, Ram are not selling. Again, I think a gross miscalculation for automakers, American automakers. People do not want. Now, if you're out in the country, you need a heavy-duty pickup, you work construction, something like that. Yeah, people want those trucks. That's when they want a heavy-duty truck. But if you're buzzing around the city and you need a pickup truck because you like to haul stuff home from garage sales and things like that, the smaller pickups, the Maverick, the Santa Cruz from Hyundai, and the Honda Ridgeline become very attractive pickup trucks. And I do think that we will see more of those smaller pickup trucks. Reportedly, Toyota is on the way with one. Reportedly, Subaru is on the way with one. Reportedly, Kia or Hyundai. Well, Hyundai has one. Kia is on the way with one. So we'll see what happens there. But I think those smaller pickup trucks that have basically are SUVs with the rear kind of cut out. They're almost like the old El Caminos. Remember the Chevy El Camino and the Ford Ranchero? They're kind of like those in that you're driving kind of half a truck and half a car. Maybe they're not going to tow a lot. I think the towing capacity on the Ridge line is like 5,000 pounds. But if you have a small trailer, if you have one of those tent, folding tent trailers, if you like camping, these things are going to be worth looking at. If you're somebody who likes to do a lot of home improvement projects, likes to carry stuff in the back of it, again, these are going to be cars that you should look at. If you don't want a truck that sits up this high and they have to climb up into, but you want something that drives like a car instead of a truck, that fits into city-type parking spaces, these trucks, car trucks, these smaller compact pickup trucks are going to get a look-see from you. I'll be really interested to see what the Toyota. There's been a lot of buzz on the internet the last week or so about Toyota's new, sub $30,000 pickup. I don't know that it's anything official, but there's lots of pictures out there. There's lots of stuff out there that you can go online and take a look at. Again, take anything you see online with a grain of salt, including this show. But truly the essence of the car business is changing. And it wouldn't surprise me if you started to see some car companies saying, well, we're going to go back to building more car-like cars, smaller SUVs, hatchbacks, cars that give you room to carry stuff, but also are more car-like than they are truck-like in nature. They handle easy. They fit into parking spaces in the city. They fit into your garage. Nothing worse than coming home from a car from the dealer, coming home with a car from the dealer and finding out it doesn't fit in your garage. What do you do then? That's always a conundrum. Gee, I didn't think to measure this thing before I got it home. Don't think it doesn't happen. There always seems to be a story in one of the papers or one of the car websites about somebody that didn't take that didn't measure their car before they got it home, and they can't get it in their garage now. Measure first. Always measure first when you're buying one of those cars. Quickly, before we get to our feature today, I was looking at this on Motor Biscuit, and as I looked at this story, I said it's only a matter of time till it gets to Seattle. We have a large number of Honda CR-Vs here, and it looks like the Honda CR-V is a new darling of the car thieves because according to police officers in Westchester County, New York, which is right above New York City, police officers are warning New York residents about an increase in the Honda CR-V thefts. Thieves can break in without triggering the alarm. And this story was published a couple of days ago in Motor Biscuit. And as you know, Kias and Hyundais, the older ones, the SUVs, were getting stolen pretty regularly. There's even a gang out there called the Kia Gang that regularly steals old Kias. Well, police, according to Patch here, according to the Patch website, thieves have figured out how to easily break into the Hondas without setting off the alarm. 24 and 25 models are being targeted after being left in lots, commuter lots. And police officers have said that they believe that the thieves are using a reprogramming tool. So they break into the car and they can plug this tool in and it reads all the information in your car. And somehow they can talk to your vehicle's computer system and get that computer system to recognize a signal transmitted by the machine, the electronic reprogramming that they're using, and drive away with your car. I think one of the things that I always recommend to people, even if you have a new car, even if you have ignition locks, a steering wheel lock is always a good idea. Again, it's the path of least resistance that the thief is looking for. The thief is not looking for a car that has a steering wheel lock on it. Most commonly the club or something like that, because they have to spend extra time and they don't want to spend that time in your car where a cop could come by and see you and start to question them. They want to get in and out fast. And so that's one of the things I would suggest. With the electronic keys in cars now, they're going to be much easier to steal. Just like your credit card, just like everything. Anything that goes out over the air. There's thieves that are spending night and day trying to figure out ways to grab your information. We're an information-based society, and people will use that information to steal from you if they get the opportunity. And, there's people that sit up nights trying to figure this stuff out. So if you have a new car, be careful. Get yourself a steering wheel lock, because, as I say, if they're doing it in New York, it's only a matter of time until they figure it out here, especially when there's a lot of computer people out here that, let's face it, don't always use their powers for good. Sometimes use their powers for nefarious reasons. And, Honda, there's a lot of Hondas here. It's a very popular brand up here in the Northwest. And people will get out there and they're stealing. Like the club cost, I don't know what it is, $50 today. Pretty cheap insurance when you come back and find that your car is still there. And maybe the guy a couple of spaces down from you that's driving a Honda, his car was taken. By the way, I do want to let you know that this show is brought to you by George Jackson Promotions. My good friend George Jackson, who deals in business specialties. If you're looking for items to promote your business, T-shirts, sweatshirts, key rings, all of the advertising specialties that people in business give to other people so they remember who they are. They keep them top of mind awareness. George does those things. I've been in business a long time. George does those things better than I think anybody else. Why? Simple. If you place an order with George, if you go to one of the places that are online, you place an order there, you're not dealing with human beings. If your order gets screwed up, who do you talk to? Right? They get a letter wrong and they send you the box and you open it up and it's got, who do you talk to? With George, you talk to George. You call up George and you say, George, I need 7,000 bobblehead dolls or something like that. And George says, okay, what do you want on it? There's this, send me a print, and you get 7,000 bobblehead dolls at your door that say what you want to say on them. It does all kinds of specialties for sports teams, for schools, awards. Again, as I said, T-shirts, sweatshirts, keychains, all of those kind of advertising specialties. George does them. George Jackson Promotions. You can find him on the web at gjp.com. Find him on Facebook at George Jackson Promotions. He's a big supporter of this show, and please do me a favor and go to, if you need things for your business, give George a call and see if he can help you out. He'll also help keep this show running as well. I also want to announce that in the coming month or so, we are going to have a Patreon page up so that you'll be able to participate in this show monetarily. We don't do a lot of advertising. Every once in a while, we take an ad. We don't take advertising from the car makers. And in order to do that, and if you enjoy the show and want to see it remain on the air, there are expenses involved with keeping this show on the air. The streaming and everything, it costs money. And listen, I'm on a limited income, so it's hard for me to carry it. I have other expenses that I have to divert my money to. So we're going to go the Patreon route. Within the next couple of weeks, we will put out a Patreon page and let you participate. You can subscribe to the show. $1 a month, $5 a month. I mean, I think I'm worth $5 a month. I probably make you laugh $5 worth a month, right? And we're going to get that going, as I said. It's been doing it for free for a long time. And but we are going to go over to and again, it's going to be a minimal amount of money that you can sign up for. We're not looking, it's not a $25 a month thing. It's just that I got to cover expenses. So we'll see if Drivetime survives. All right, time now for the top 5 cars that I did not want to give up. Now, you know that every week they deliver a new car to my house for me to evaluate, for me to test. Many times they come and they just take the car back and they leave me another one. But every once in a while, I drive something that's so unique, so spectacular, so wonderful that I grab onto the steering wheel and I don't want to let it go. I don't want to give the car back. It's been happening like that for 30 years. I don't want to give the car back. You should have seen him try to get me out of the IROC Camaro many years ago. The new Corvette. I just don't want to get out of those vehicles. I love them. I want to keep them, but I can't afford to keep them. Even though I've told many people that I drive a new car every week and they're mine. I'm only kidding them. Anyway, so what I do every year is I compile a list of the top 5 cars that I did not want to give back. And in those cars, it's in no particular order, but these are cars that I really wanted to hold on to, that I really felt that I could be enticed if I had the money to buy one of these cars. But I also found them to be the cream of the crop, the best for my taste. Now, this is my taste. This, may not be the Motor Trend Car of the Year, may not be Car and Drivers, may not be the Edmunds Car of the Year. You may not see them on anybody else's top list. But you see them on mine because I believe that they do what they're designed to do. They make people happy. There's something about the car that's unique. And what I do with some of these cars is I take them down to Shoreline Cars and Coffee, which happens between 8 and 10 on Saturday morning over in Shoreline by the Town and Country Market. And I see what the buzz is there. And I use that as kind of an indicator as well. People are buzzing about the car. Well, it means something. A couple of cars really caused a buzz this year. I'll tell you about them as we get to them. But there are a couple of cars that really caused people to walk over and take a look at. All right. And the honorable mentions, these are 5 cars that I drove this year and were great cars, but they just didn't crack the top 5. And I'll tell you what, they easily all could have. Easily, all of these cars could have cracked the top 5, but unfortunately, they didn't this year. All right. One of the most, and we talked about this with John Vincent from U.S. News and World Report a week or so ago. Genesis has been doing an incredible job with their cars. If you are shopping luxury cars, if you're shopping luxury SUVs, you are not doing yourself a favor if you go by the Genesis store. If you pass it by, you should go and you should look at the GV70, the GV80. They are spectacular cars. Their electrics are the best electrics out there. And their luxury cars, they build so much into them. There's so many very cool features in these cars that I suggest to anybody who is out there looking for a car, a luxury car, that you check out the Genesis line. I was so impressed with the GV80 that I drove earlier this year, just in the way it drove, the seating position in the car, the luxury appointments in the car, the quality of everything inside the car. It was stunning. And many people commented on the car as to how stunning it was. Another car that I really liked a lot, made the honorable mention, is, let me see if I can punch this up here. I'll go back and put in the Yo Vinnie, what are you driving this week? If we can get that in there. There we go. Let's put this in there. And the Fiat 500E.
Cuteness, charm, style. No, not me. The Fiat 500E. The question is, does it outweigh range anxiety? Fiat is betting that it will, and that you'll love this city car.
Yeah, this is the 500E. This is an electric only from Fiat. I got more people that looked at this car, that love this car. And I don't understand why they don't sell more of these things. They are cute. They seem to be reliable. The electric one is a great car for the city. They're easy to park, fun to drive. And I think it has close to 200 miles of range, if I'm not mistaken. I drove the car in the summer, and it was just a fun car to drive. As a matter of fact, I drove it twice this year. Also drove it at Drive Revolution, and it was just really a solid car. A lot of fun to drive, a lot of fun to, it's a conversation starter as people looked at this car and they wanted to know what it was. As I said, roomy inside, good driving position in the car. and lots of room to drop that back seat and put your rolls of toilet paper from Costco in the back of this thing. And price wise, I think it's you can buy these things in the low 30s right now, which is amazing that you would pay that much for that car, but it was a solid car. And again, the Fiat 500e makes our honorable mention. The McLaren Artura Spider. I mean, it took a few minutes for me to get in this car, but boy, oh boy, what a car it was. This also one that was at the Drive Revolution event. Solid car. And brought to the just fun to drive. I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy one. It's $300 and something thousand. But who wouldn't want a chance to take this thing around the block or drive it for a week? And as you know, as you get old, it takes a little bit of effort to get into these cars. Or if you're a big guy, it takes a little bit of effort. But the effort in this car was worth it. From the sound of the engine to driving it with the top down, it was just a solid, spectacular vehicle. And if you're in the market for that kind of car, and you're saying to yourself, you know, I have a spare $350,000 to $400,000 that I want to spend, then why not have McLaren build one for you? I think you'd look great in one. I know I look good in one. And believe you me, if a car can make me look good, that's worth $350,000 to $400,000. Also on the list is the Mazda CX-90. I drove it 3 times this year, and I drove the version I liked the most was the plug-in hybrid EV. Gave you, I don't know, about 40 miles on electric. So you could do your business around town, all on electric, and then had a gasoline engine as well. So if you're going on a long trip, the car will charge itself, and you can plug it in, and but you have the gasoline engine there to rely on. Mazda punches so far above what you think about that company. I mean, I know a lot of people think of Mazdas as inexpensive, solid cars. They probably make the best compact small car out there, the Mazda 3, which is a stunning vehicle, a vehicle that clearly fulfills its mission and adds fun to drive on top of it. The sports car dynamics, when you put that thing into sport, it responds by being a sport. And Mazda's quest to become a more upscale car company, I think, is working well. I think that Mazda has improved their interiors and their everything about the car is improved. They've taken their car and they've said, okay, what can we do better? And every year they come out with an incrementally better vehicle, whether it's materials in the interior, whether it's driving position, whether it's the engines, whether it's the transmissions, whatever it is. The only thing that they haven't improved in the Mazda is the entertainment system. It's still a little wonky. But if you're looking for that big SUV that can get you all over the place, and again, it's not as big as the Suburban or the Tahoe or the Expedition, but if you're looking for something that'll with 3 seats, that'll get you and the kids around town, and it'll save you a little bit on gasoline and help you feel a little bit more environmentally conscious, then the Mazda CX-90 is something that you should be looking at, and it makes the list of honorable mentions. Finally, on the honorable mention list, the car that I'm driving this week. That's right, the one that I'm driving this week is talk about saving the best for last. But the last car of 2024, I should say last week, uh, the best car of 2024, one of the best cars of 2024, is a car. This is, I think, one of the best passenger cars that you can buy. And, Honda just does a great job with these cars. I don't know that you can buy a better car out there than the Honda Accord Hybrid Touring vehicle. Let me hit the Yo, Vinnie, what are you driving this week for this one? And again, this is the Honda Accord Hybrid. And all right, it seems like we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty here, so we'll take that out. But yeah, it's a 5-passenger vehicle that has about 200 and I want to say around 220 horsepower, a couple of electric motors in it, and will get you everywhere you want to go in comfort and style. It's one of the safest cars out there, and it really does compete with the Camry. As far as, do I want to buy a Toyota? Do I want to buy a Honda? It really comes down to which nameplate you prefer. And if you want all-wheel drive, because the Honda Accord Touring Hybrid does not offer all-wheel drive, but the Camry does. And the Honda Accord, just a spectacular vehicle for what it does. It is one of the last passenger cars left that you can buy. And when you look at cars, if you don't want to go the SUV route, you don't want to go the pickup truck route. You want to go, you still believe in automobiles, you still believe in passenger cars. This is one that certainly you should look at. All right, now the top 5 cars I did not want to give back this year. And number 5 comes from Lexus. You had to know that there would be a Lexus on this list somewhere. But the Lexus LC500 is all the luxury you can handle in a spectacular car. When I tell you that this thing, from the color to just the way it drove, to everything that you felt about this car, it made you feel better driving it. That's what I really loved about this car. It made you feel better driving this car. And the LC500 from Lexus. My pictures have gone down here, unfortunately. So I'm having a little trouble bringing you the video of these cars. So we're just going to have to wing it. The next on the list was the Hyundai Elantra N. Now, the N series from Hyundai is their performance vehicles. And the Elantra is their electric. No, I'm sorry. It's the Ioniq, not the Elantra. The Ioniq. Ioniq 5. Sorry about that. And the Ioniq 5, which was the N, and I'm pulling up the sheet on it here, was simply one of the best darn cars. I mean, there were 2 really nice cars just performance cars at this event. There was the Honda Civic Type R, and it is the Elantra N. I'm sorry. I get my Ioniqs and the Elantras confused. The Elantra N was at $36,820. One of the cars that you get into, and you say, "Wow!" From the sound of this thing to the performance, to the seating position, to the way this car made you feel, to the quickness of this car, the way it made you feel. The Elantra N was an unbelievably fun vehicle to drive. And again, this was a Hyundai, Kia, both the same parent company, without a doubt, putting out some of the nicest, the best, the most enthusiastic, the most fun cars out there. And the passenger cars are spectacular, and their SUVs are spectacular. They really do a great job at loading up these cars with options, loading up these cars with spectacular entertainment systems, and making these cars a great value proposition. And the Elantra N was a hot rod that any kid that hangs out at Dick's on a Friday night or a Saturday night would be happy to roll in with. Incredible car. And like I said, at $36,000, you get a whole lot of performance. You get what almost feels like a race-ready car in the Hyundai Elantra N. Number 3 on the list. This is one you don't see a lot. There's not a lot of them around. But if you're somebody that an SUV is kind of big for you, and you love performance, and you love technology, and you love cars that are complex and complicated and hold a road like they were born to be on it, that are fun to drive, that really get you, as a commercial, it used to show somebody taking a long way home from work with their car every day because it was so much fun to drive. Audi's RS6 Avant is exactly that car. This was a car that I just had so much fun driving. I actually snuck a second drive in this thing. It was the RS6 Avant Performance. That's an expensive car, $149,000. But the TFSI bi-turbo V8 engine, I think, pumps around 400 and something horsepower into this thing. And this was really a spectacular car. It was a station wagon, a true station wagon, a shooting brake if you want. And between all of the goodies that this car had on it, the Mate Carbon package that had 22-inch wheels, Continental Performance tires, the black exterior trim, the carbon front blade, side sill, and diffuser inserts, and the carbon mirror housings. From the looks of this car, I mean, this thing looked like it was driving along when it was sitting still. Had one of the more comfortable interiors out. Now, again, it's not going to be something that the average person is going to go out and buy. But for me, this was a spectacular car. This was a car that, man, I'm hoping they bring it up here that I can drive it for a whole week, because that's the week I'm going away on vacation. That's the week I'm going somewhere. I'm driving this car somewhere because it's just a car that you're not going to want to get out of. You want to drive in this thing for a while and enjoy it. So Audi makes the top 5 cars I did not want to get back. Next on the list at number 2 is a pickup truck for city people. I don't know why, unless you are in the trades, unless you haul stuff around, unless you pull heavy equipment around, I don't know why anybody would want more than a Honda Ridgeline pickup truck. It is comfortable inside. It has a stunningly nice bed. I've been using the word stunning a lot today, but a practical bed. While the bed may not be deep, what the bed does do, I mean, how deep do you need a pickup truck bed to be, right? But the bed of this truck is designed so that it's flat at the wheel wells. So you can truly take a large piece of plywood. What is it, 4x8 piece of plywood, 4x6 piece of plywood, and lay it flat in this thing. Plus, it has a trunk under the floor. You open the floor of the bed, and there's almost a full-size trunk in there that also acts as an ice cooler. So, I mean, it's got a lot of neat tricks to it. Inside, it feels like a car. It feels like, a Honda SUV inside. I think it's hard to tell the difference. It's got unibody construction. The Ridgeline model that I drove, which is the Sport Track, is has some additional equipment on it, like skid plates and different better tires that grip the road a little bit better. It's got knobbier tires on it. It's made, they say, for going further up in the woods. I don't know that I'd try to take it up or too far up into the woods, but if you're not one of these people that go off-roading every weekend, if you're not one of these people that live the overlander lifestyle, if your lifestyle is going to the supermarket, going to Costco, but going to pick up stuff, putting a couple of bikes in the back, and taking the kids down to the lake, loading some equipment, sitting on the bed of the truck, sitting on the tailgate of the truck, and talking to your son about life, this truck bears taking a look at. Again, as I say, a solid truck that performs well and fulfills really everything most people need out of a truck. I think it has a 5,000-pound towing capacity, if I'm not mistaken. And one more thing about the Ridgeline is it's one of the few trucks where the tailgate opens the traditional way down, but also swings open like a door. And you can't believe how much it improves the experience of a pickup truck to be able to lean into the bed and grab stuff out of it without having to lean over the bed or climb up into the truck. There's just something that happens where you can load the truck, you can take stuff in and out. When you're putting those your kids' bikes in there and everything, again, you have the option of putting the bed down, putting the tailgate down, or opening up the tailgate like a door. Makes it also very easy to access the stuff in the locking trunk that's in there. So while we always talk about frunks in electrics, we don't talk about trunks in pickup trucks, but this has an under-the-bed compartment where you can take stuff and stick it in there, lock it up, and hopefully it won't get stolen. No guarantees in life these days, but, for the most part, we're doing okay. All right, now for the number one, and I think that anybody who has watched this show or watched my, Vinnie, what are you driving this week? Segments knows what I'm coming up with. Knows what the number one truck is. The number one car is that I did not want to get back. I'm on the fence about going out and buying one of these things. Our top car, once again this year, is an electric. It is a car that got attention everywhere I went. It is a game changer. It is something that is one of those vehicles that come along every once in a while, a la the PT Cruiser, a la, different cars that come along that grab people's attention. And I don't know that I got more attention driving a car this year, maybe even in the last couple of years, than I did driving the Volkswagen ID Buzz. This was a recreation, a takeoff, if you will, on the Volkswagen bus of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And Volkswagen did, I think, a spectacular job balancing out the old and that retro look with the new and what people needed in a minivan for today. Now, I can go over this thing and find a few things wrong with it, but I overwhelmingly found what was right with this thing and how good it was. And let me play for you. Let me see if I can get this to work here. Let me show you first of all, the Yo Vinnie on the ID Buzz.
Yo, Vinnie, what are you driving this week?
Well, this week I'm lucky enough to be driving something that, shall we say, stands out from the crowd. The 2025 all-electric Volkswagen ID Buzz. Now, Volkswagen reaches back into their past to make the minivan the coolest car on the block. The ID Buzz is a traffic stopper. People come up to you from all over and ask you about it. I mean, you can't go anywhere without people taking pictures of it, and it's got that cool factor to it. It really feels like you're driving something special, and I think it is going to be something special for a while. Why is it special? Well, not just the way it looks from the outside. It has that retro look of the Volkswagen bus, but on the inside, there's lots of neat stuff to uncover. Storage in a minivan, as anybody who ever had one knows, is crucial. You have to have places to put stuff. People, you have 3 rows. Storage spaces, you have cup holders, you have little compartments, and you have USB ports. Also leg room. You got a lot of leg room in this thing. Look at that. I mean, if you're tall and you're long-legged, you'll fit in this thing just fine, not just in the second row, but in the third row as well with easy access. One of the quirky things in this thing, a rear window that slides back and forth instead of up and down. Power window that, just gives you a little something different. And it works real well. I actually like sitting back there and getting the breeze from this window. As I said, USB ports all over the place. Screens, you have a little one in front of the driver to kind of tell you the speed and the charge. And you have the big screen as well in the middle of the dashboard, iPad size, to kind of give you a reading of where you're going, your nav, your phone, all the stuff that you need, your heat, your massaging seats, all of that good stuff is there, including, as I said, the cubby panel, the cubby holes where you can stick stuff. They're all over the place in this thing. One of the other things I really like is the sunroof. Instead of a shade that pulls over it, it has a button that you push, and it either blocks out the sun and everything, you can't see inside, or you push that button and the glass changes. Very cool. I think one of the things that people will look at years, you'll see them on a lot of cars. VW Buzz has it now. Wide, comfortable, roadworthy seats is what I really like about this thing. I drove this thing all over the place and never got tired. Even 2 armrests, one on each side, gives you an idea of how wide this vehicle is. Other stuff that's on here that you might have found in the old VW bus is the straw mats. Well, you didn't see this in the old VW bus, but the electric side doors that close, and you got that little quirky VW bus imprint there.
Remember, just plug in. I'm ready.
Electric is what it is, and this is where you plug it in. Not the greatest of range. If you have the all-wheel drive, 231 miles. If you have the two-wheel drive, which is in the rear wheels, 234 miles on a full charge. You start using the accessories, the massaging seats, and all of the interior lights and everything like that, and plug in 4 or 5 phones, and your range does go down. But man, from the outside, this is a beautiful looking vehicle. It is stylish. It is unique. It's like nothing else out there. This one is the first edition. They borrowed the design cues from the old VWs. It's a retro, but it also stands on its own as a modern vehicle. 67 grand is the copy I drove what it cost. If you want the full review, listen to us on Drivetime Radio on Saturday morning at 11, or pick up the podcast. I'm New York Vinnie.
And there you have it, the top car of the year, the number one car I did not want to give back. So to recap, top 5 cars of the year I did not want to give back: the Lexus LC500, the Hyundai Elantra N, the Audi RS6 Avant, the Honda Avant Performance. I want to make sure I mention that model, because I don't want you to think I was driving the GT around with the 600 horsepower. The Honda Ridgeline pickup truck, and number 1, the Volkswagen ID Buzz. And again, a great year of cars. I look forward to another year coming up this year of cars. And if you want to hear the complete podcast of this show, you can find it on Spotify and on Apple. That's going to put another edition in the books. We thank you so much for listening to the show. We'll be back next week with an all-new edition of Drive Time Radio. Don't forget to talk to my friend George Jackson. If you need business promotional items, he's the guy to see. You find him on Facebook at George Jackson Promotions, GJP, GeorgeJacksonPromotions.com is where you'll find them on the internet. Please give our advertisers a buzz, a talking to, and let them know that show them the love. Tell them you appreciate that they support Drive Time Radio. Also, if you're on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. We need you to do that to get our channel moving a little bit. I want to grow and expand this channel in this year of 2025, and get it going, get it in competition with some of the other local channels that look at automobiles. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I will catch up with you Monday morning at 10:10 with Michael Knight on Mikey and Vinnie Take on the World. And see you next week here for another edition of Drive Time Radio. I'm New York Vinnie. Thank you so much for listening.